Welcome to 267 Hoops. Yeah, it's our first episode, man.
Yes,
The weird
sir.
thing is, it's not really our first episode because the first episode we recorded,
Yeah.
we had to come back and do some stuff,
Tweak a few things.
tweak a few things.
Tweak a
That's
few
what we had to
things.
do. Yeah. Welcome, Austin.
What's up, my guy?
Yeah,
Thanks
this
for
is
having me.
can't really see your thing. This man's name is Austin. He's a member of a very famous award-winning R&B group out here in the B-Dub, man. Ice Cold Mob, So welcome, man.
Thanks for having me, Big Homie.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Should I introduce myself? I don't really want to
You should.
introduce
You
myself.
should.
No.
You really should. You really should.
But, my
People-
name is Caleb.
Yeah, people might
that's it.
recognize the voice and be like, "Who is this guy?" That's the problem with radio.
Dude,
Big Homie.
and the problem is, now it's camera in front and
Yeah.
being camera shy and just trying to, and I'm also trying to not look fat because last time we tried to do this, I looked fat, and this time around I was like, nah. I was talking to the wardrobe people. I'm like, no, I need
Yeah.
something black.
Yeah.
And they gotta do something about the aircon up in here because
Yes,
it's
sir.
quite hot. So yeah, man, we're talking basketball. This podcast is all about just chatting about basketball because you and I on a weekly get to touch on basketball matters. You mostly focus on he's my NBA analyst. I
Yes,
always
sir.
bring him in when we talk about the NBA. But before we do get to what I usually bring you on, share with us your your relation with basketball. Where did it all start?
Man, my relation with basketball started in 2010. I was doing my Form 1 back in Marang CJSS. Yeah. I had literally just stopped doing karate at the time. And I guess I was looking for a new sport to join. And this one study time I got in trouble. And the teacher that came to whoop me, ironically enough, was the basketball coach of the school. So before he hits my hand, I'm at the extending it like that, and he's like, "You got really huge hands, man. Ever played basketball before?" I'm like, "Nah." He's like, "You should come after practice." I'm like, "Thanks, man, I will." I was like, "You still want to hit me though?" He's like, "Yeah, I still gotta whoop you." And I'm like, "I bet." So from then on, I want to look into basketball. I mean, at the time, I think the hottest player was Kobe for sure. Hottest player was Kobe at the time, and LeBron was on his ascension at the time. So I was just really obsessed with those two players, LeBron and Kobe Bryant, R.I.P. by the way, to a legend. And this was before I even dove back into the history of it, man. Because when I got to discover the things that were happening back then, your Michael Jordans, your Scottie Pippens, your Karl Malones, that's when I fell deep into the sport, man. So from 2010 till 2012, I was playing basketball with the team, and when I got to Form 5, I kind of let that go because I was like, studies and everything, gotta focus. And then when I got to varsity, that's when I just really got in love with just watching the sport and really learning a lot from it. Right now, I can hold my conversation with any basketball player or any basketball fanatic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Dope, man. Yeah, that's an interesting love affair from corporal punishment. We tell a lot. Yeah, no punishiwa. Then
Bruh.
it was a love affair from that. So dope.
Man.
Interesting stuff. But yeah, dope nonetheless. And you got, like you say, what's any. And what you also decided to do is go back, learn the history that made you even love basketball even
more.
further. Did you even represent your school at the time?
When back in
Yeah.
I remember my first tournament was in what's that school called? Maruapula.
Yeah.
We had a tournament there in Maruapula. First game I was playing was against Mauka. And there were some pretty tall people. And this is before I had my growth spurt. And these guys were gigantic, bro. So I did get to represent my school. We lost the game, by the way.
Yeah.
We lost the game.
How many did you score?
10 points. I
What
scored
was
10
your
points.
position? What's your position? What were you playing?
Back then, before I got taller, I was the point guard.
Point guard.
And then when I got my growth spurt, then it was like, it's either you're playing center or power forward. And it's like, I liked the idea of being able to deny a person from scoring so much. I was like, let me protect the paint. I'll be the center.
All right, and interesting. We're talking I'm asking you about positions. You scored 10, not bad.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to ask Hore Lejelo Bukai. What was the final score?
It wasn't that bad. I mean, we lost by 25, so it was.
So yeah, it's interesting now. Looking at basketball, you have your point guards, you have your small forwards, you have your centers, and different players that we've grown to like. Looking at particularly the NBA, because that was one sport that was, the marketing was good. Big up to the late NBA commissioner, because he took it to those levels.
Yeah, man, he's the guy that really turned the NBA into a seriously high-paying job. When you got to see the difference between the salaries, what these guys make now and back then. I mean, back then, if you didn't have the endorsements, the sponsors, like your Jordans, who was just being from jump sponsored by Nike, if you didn't have that, you weren't really making that much money from the NBA. And right now, a guy who you probably never seen play could be signed to a $5 million contract.
Yeah, man. So it's a big thing. So looking at the positions, point guard, you have small forward, you have PG, SF. What else is there? There's the center.
Yeah.
And what else is there? Is there anything I'm missing?
No,
It's
no,
the
you didn't.
SF, small forward, the point guard, and the center. Now, did you get to understand basketball to that level in terms of, because let's just be honest, when like the NBA, I remember back in the day, Space Jam came out, and everybody just think, okay, all I'm doing in the court I'm making baskets.
Yeah.
No, you are the guy who make plays.
Man.
You block. You distribute. Did you get to understand it at that level, or okay, we're not bringing you here just to try go for the basket.
Yeah.
You might be the point guard, maybe in your point guard position, looking at your body size.
Yeah.
All we need from you is to always ensure that one guy always gets the ball.
Yeah. It didn't start off like that. In fact, honestly, that was almost the point where I was like, this sport is just way too complicated for me to learn. Because remember, I was just coming from karate, and at that point, it's all about ready, fight, and then whoever hits the person the most wins. So with basketball, you had to learn how to play positions, and then the defensive schemes, offensive schemes, and then let me know the rules. I think that was one of the hardest things for me that I had to grasp, was the rules of the game, for what a carry is, what a double dribble is. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to get this. So it took me a while to actually learn what the positions are all about, and what, if you're given the position of point guard, or if you're given the position of center, what your true role is.
Yeah.
So now they have traditional terms like a Chris Paul is a true point guard, or something like that. Back then, I had no idea what that was.
Because like I say, I remember Space Jam. I even constructed like these. Me and my cousin, we constructed these. Because we're gonna buy a hoop.
Makeshift hoops, man. We've been there. We've been there.
Hoop.
Yeah,
put it next to the wall, and you're there, your jam. And luckily, we got to be bought a ball, so it was. But yeah, man, like I think the first thing you do, because I even remember Lekumsalo Apula now, where from primary now you get to a place where there's a basketball court.
Yeah.
Even then, when we were playing after school, that's like, okay, they're probably playing with guys who are playing for the team, but all you want is to just. And even then, I'm not even a part of the basketball team. It's just it's a fun sport to do, because with our school system, I get a first term lead like is athletics, then second term is ball sports, third term I think there's nothing.
There's no sports.
There's no sports. So it comes to that, and you're just jamming. I don't even think I went for trials, but the first thing that I know any kid ever does basketball, and before they get formal coaching, is we all want to score.
That's all we want to do.
No one wants to pass.
It's actually funny enough, the same thing with any other sport as well. You want to be that, you want to do the end thing. Like if it's football, you want to score. That's all you want to do. So with basketball, it was literally the same thing. And then you had to unlearn that and be like, oh no, wait, there's this thing. I remember the first time I was learning how to take layups. I was always taking way too many steps all the time, until I had to unlearn that and be like, okay, so this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
So,
And I think, sometimes people don't understand the discipline. Like when you actually, even if it's street ball, like the practices that we do, like where you are learning to control the ball.
Yeah.
Like I would go to the court, and maybe some days I get there, kiwani. So what you can do, halowani, sometimes you're just there, you're walking around. And I always feel that people because sometimes you go to like Tsolofelo Park, opposite Tsolofelo Park,
that's
there's
why I
that
used to practice
recreation center where they and you think maybe, I think people on the other side, that are looking at you like, why is he just, and it's just, you're learning to control the ball. You're trying to get your grip back or something.
Yeah, man. Me and my friend actually got that a lot, especially from the kids. And what they'll do is, at Tsolofelo Park, what they'll do is, on the other side of the basketball court is the tennis court. So most of the time, they wouldn't play tennis. They'll just play football. So when you're there actually doing your drills, your dribble drills, or maybe you're on a layup line, they'll be just there like wondering, what are they doing? So it's always been that sport that only a few got to understand or even enjoy, honestly. In fact, I think what made me love basketball even more was the fact that at the tournaments, there was always girls that loved basketball. I never understood this.
Yeah, I think what they loved is they've seen any movie that had a basketball dude. He was doing his thing. Now, let's do a count here.
Yeah.
I've played UB, like the main UB stadium. I've played the ones I've played Haji SS. I've played Tsolofelo Park. I've played BDF Camp. I've played Police.
Yeah.
6.
I've played on 4 of those 6. GSS, Tsolofelo Park, and the 2 at UB.
Okay, the two.
Yeah, the 2.
I've always wanted to play inside the new one. The
Indoor Sports Center. Yeah. I've just been writing exams there. I never really got the chance.
Like, dude, even for me, Hakeleko University, I think the only time I've been inside that indoor sports arena, because I had never used to attend festivals and whatnot. The only time I was ever in there. Yeah. That's it. So now let's take a look at the NBA. There's a lot that's going down. Klay Thompson is going to miss another year, making him miss 2 years of NBA action. Klay Thompson is going to come back. We're getting into the 2020-2021 season. He's going to come back 2021-2022. This is provided he heals. And the injury he has, it's a common thing for you to injure one leg after the other, because they say you're probably doing too much therapy on the one leg, then the other one becomes weak because it wasn't I agree you're trying to strengthen the other one. So now he went back to trying to play with both of them. Kante, maybe the other one is kind of weak, and it's it's off season and he's out. Golden State Warriors, you have Steph Curry. I'm not really big on following prospects, because nowadays the college basketball, like the easiest one for me was following the Sweet 16.
Yeah, we didn't have that.
Follow and no upcoming players. But now he's gone. You have Steph Curry, you have the Warriors, you have Draymond Green, who really went through a tough 2019-2020 season because the team was so bad.
Oh, man.
So going into the coming season, the Warriors championship situations, Rababa Hagai.
Hish. Look, for me, if we're looking at the top contenders of the championship, because essentially the number one has to be the Lakers. They're looking to repeat, right? I'd have, I don't think that the Warriors can make a decent championship run. I would say they can make the playoffs. I mean, with Steph Curry, man, and that boy is crazy. So anything can happen. And they just picked up a great kid in Wiseman.
James Wiseman.
Yeah, that kid's good as well. So I think he's going to fit in beautifully. They also traded for Kelly Oubre. I'm really interested to see how they're going to work that offense, but I see them only making the second round of the playoffs, because they cannot win a championship without Klay. They really can't, because so much of their offense is just that 1-2 punch from Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. When you don't have the other, man.
So basically they're not...
Nah, they're just going to end up in the playoffs. if they even make the playoffs.
So LeBron just got handed.
No, come on, man. You see, this is a conversation that usually get me heated, man. LeBron never gets handed anything, guys. He goes through the most every single time. Do you guys see the type of the teams this takes to the finals? Imagine that Cleveland team that had nobody, and he took them to the finals.
Okay, Cleveland, when you went back to Cleveland, when did they bring in Kevin Love? Was that after the second season?
No, it was the first season that LeBron went to Cleveland. He told them that, okay, if I'm going there, we need to get that kid Kevin Love, because he was coming from a smoking season from Minnesota. So he saw already that him, Kevin Love, and Kyrie could make something special. So when LeBron went back to Cleveland, Kevin Love was also there. So and then they were not able to win because that first season both Kevin Love and Kyrie got injured, and LeBron played in the finals by himself, playing against Golden State Warriors. The second best player in that team was Dellavedova.
Oh yeah, where is he? Like
he's still playing for the Cavs. Still playing for the Cavs. So man, LeBron, he didn't get handed another team. I'm pretty sure there will be other teams that'll give him a run for his money, especially this season.
You know, as you're speaking, I'm looking at the Brooklyn Nets. Yes. One addition, like one dude that I think DeAndre Jordan, he doesn't really get that much. He doesn't get that much respect as far as when we talk basketball. I think when he was with the Clippers, that team had the Clippers, then
Lob City.
You say DeAndre, but ever since, I don't think he really gets.
With me, what I've realized is because of how the game is changing, your traditional centers like Steven Adams and DeAndre Jordan don't really get that much attention. Because right now, it's becoming tradition for a center to be able to step back and shoot the three. And these guys can't do that. So you're looking at your Joel Embiid, your Karl Anthony Towns, those type of guys, your Jokic. So maybe that's the reason why. So
now looking at Brooklyn, you have all these guys out at the Nets. You have guys who've been off injury.
Yeah.
I remember when Kyrie went to the Boston Celtics, there was so much hype. Oof. Then he got injured and they said, the team is playing better without this guy. He comes back and they go to the playoffs. So apparently he's messing up the chemistry. Now you have him and KD. They've been off. They're coming back. Are they going to mess up the chemistry or just too soon?
I think it's too soon to tell. Because for me, the personality Sabone, they, in a weird way, they kind of complement each other because KD is just a really timid guy. We've seen him from OKC. Russell Westbrook was the explosive guy. He's just really timid. And Kyrie is extremely ball dominant. So he's going to be running the plays all the time. So it'll be interesting. For me, I think the biggest issue with the Nets is not necessarily the players, but the coach. I mean, Steve Nash is this is his first coaching gig. Yeah. And he's coaching a team like this.
Hey, look, Kyrie, they don't need a coach.
Yeah, I heard him say that.
We don't need no coach.
But hey, man, every team needs a coach.
All right, now, and don't think this is like Brooklyn.
Yeah. I see.
Just to wrap up the episode now, we have a situation where Russell Westbrook wanted out of Houston and he finally got it. And it looks like John Wall. Now, John Wall, just like Klay Thompson, John Wall has been off for 2 seasons. Man. John Wall. The difference between John Wall and Tristan Thompson is that John Wall made his name while he was with the Wizards. You know, I think he's a Wizards hero. And, there are certain players.
Yeah, he really is, man. He brought the franchise alive.
So now he's been off and he's going to Houston. He's going to be with a guy who really wants out and they don't want him out. They're doing the same thing the Pelicans did to Anthony Davis because he wanted out before he actually got out.
Yeah.
So now you're having James Harden, who's probably going to play a season in a place he doesn't want to be in. And you're getting him John Wall, who apparently John Wall wants to play with James Harden, so maybe he might change.
I don't see how that works. The thing is, John Wall at the Wizards was the main guy. The ball was always in his... It's literally the same thing with Westbrook. The ball was always in his hands, and the ball is always in James Harden's hands. How are they going to coexist?
Whew. All right, man. So, there's a lot to talk about, obviously, with basketball. But, this episode has to end. This is how we wrap it up. John Wall going off to the Houston Rockets, Russell Westbrook going out to Washington.
Yes, sir.
LeBron James is still with the Lakers. Anthony Davis, as far as I know, has re-signed the contract. I guess he opted out because he had that option so that he come and renegotiate. Space Jam 2, was supposed to be coming out.
They're done with production. It was actually supposed to drop this year, but they're looking to make a big theater thing. But because of COVID and
so I'm gonna come out next year.
Next year, hopefully.
So yeah, man, I've played in more basketball courts than this guy in Gaps. So we out. It's 267 hoops. Much appreciated, Austin. We get to do this again, man.
Definitely, man. Y'all better stay tuned. We got some fire things coming our way, and yeah, man, we're gonna do this again. Catch you on the flip side. Wow.
Yeah. Out.